morning, dear students. Today we are going to start with the next unit, unit number 6, Dictionary Object Dependencies. In this unit, we are going to study about two lessons. The lesson number 1, differentiating between the active and inactive dictionary objects, and lesson number 2, handling the pair use list. Starting with the lesson number 1, differentiating between the active and inactive dictionary objects. Active and inactive versions of the objects. The active version of an ABAP dictionary object is the one that is accessed by the component of the runtime environment. For example, when we create a table, domain, views, as well as program, we need to activate that program before execute the program. So there is a difference between these active and inactive version of an object. As I have already told you about this objects, programs are the objects, view are the objects, transparent table are the objects, data types are the objects. All these are kinds are objects. So objects have a two states, inactive and active. So once you make it active version, so it is available to all of the SAP system. SAP system means anyone can access that particular object from anywhere. So this is the difference between the inactive and active version. But in case of inactive version, you can see without active version of the object, the programmer or the client cannot see the particular object from the system. Or we can say that inactive version is created when an active object is changed. That means when the object is in the change state and it doesn't affect the runtime system. The inactive version can be changed into an active version through a process called activation. Now this slide tells us about the change in the status of an object. Initially, an active structure contains the three fields, field 1, field 2 and field 3. When an additional field we are going to add, then it becomes inactive. In this case, we are adding a field number 4 in the ABAP dictionary. So now this active version of this field 1, field 2 and field 3 becomes inactive. Now when we are activating it with the help of activate button, then it will visible globally. When this is in inactive version, then the programmer or developer only can visible it locally, not globally. So for all the other user, it will not be visible. But once you have activated this field, field 1, field 2, field 3, field 4, then it unable to visible globally. Now one thing that I want to tell here, during the activation process, the inactive version replaces the active version. Thus, inactive version becomes the active version, resulting in only a single active version with the 4 fields. Come to the next slide, runtime objects. In the ABAP dictionary, information about a structure or table is stored in the data elements and structure definitions. The runtime object combines this information into a structure which is so designated that it can be easily accessed from the ABAP program. When you activate any particular object, then it becomes runtime object. That means it is accessible through all the SAP system. For example, you can see we have created a structure here, z my underscore str, in which we have two fields, field 1 and field 2, which is composed with the help of data elements, data element 1 and data element 2 respectively. And these the properties of these data elements are set with the help of domains, the domain 1 and domain 2. Now, once you have created this structure and activated it, now it is accessible through all the SAP system. You can see once we have activated this structure in dictionary, you can access this structure in ABAP programs. The structure name is same that we have created in case of dictionary. So this is called runtime object. The runtime object has some following informations, and these informations, the first information is information about overall structure. For example, number of fields. Second one, information about the individual structure field such as a field name, position, etc. Third one is information required by the DB interface to access the table data such as client dependency, buffering, key field, and so on. So these three kind of information the runtime object always hold. This was all about this runtime objects. This was all about this lesson number 1 of unit number 6. Come to the next lesson, lesson number 2, handling the where use list. When you change in some domain, data element, structure and table, then these domain, data element, structure as well as tables, you need to be reactivated. So this is done so that all the effective runtime object adjust to the change type information. In each object in the ABAP dictionary, maintain a where use list. That means once you create this particular object, like you are creating here the domain, data element, structure fields, tables, and you are using in all these object in program. So in the ABAP dictionary, maintain a where use list with each of these objects that provide the information about where it can be located. Using this list, you can determine the direct and indirect uses of these ABAP dictionary objects. For example, in this figure, you can see a table field is consist of data element 2, and this data element 2 consists with the help of domain. That means the technical properties are set with the help of this domain. So when you are using this table 1 in program 2, then from program 2 you can easily locate this domain information with the help of where use list. Similarly, suppose this domain is accessed by with these different data element 1, data element 2, data element 3, and these data element are used in structure table 1, structure 3. Similarly, these structures 2 and 3 are using in program 1 and table 2. So from where use list you can search the domain. You can see this figure is showing this program 1 to domain where we are using this domain. Similarly, with the help of where use list, you can check where these domains are located in which objects. Like this domain is accessed in data element 1, and this data element 1 is accessed in structure 1. Similarly, the data element 3 is accessed in structure 3 and the structure 3 is in table 2. So with the help of where use list, you can find out the information about particular object. You can also use this whereas use list to search the uses of the object that are not part of the ABAP dictionary. For example, the programs and the tables. There is a one condition. The condition is that the object must be in active state. Then you can access or search the particular object using the where use list. Without activation, you cannot search that particular object because it will be not accessible through SAP systems. Now, where you can find out this where use list? The where use list you can find out with the help of repository information system. Now, in this slide, you can see how we can conduct the search for ABAP dictionary objects and their use with the help of general repository information system, which includes repository information system ABAP dictionary. And you can call the where use list for repository object from the information system to search the object by their attributes. That means if you want to be search particular objects, you can search with the help of attributes of the objects. As I have already told you about this active version and inactive version, the active version of an ABAP dictionary object is one that is accessed by the component of the runtime environment, such as ABAP processor or database interface. An inactive version can be changed into an active version through a process that is called activation. This was all about the repository information system ABAP dictionary. The lesson 2 of the unit number 6 has been completed. Now comes to the practical part of differentiate between the active and inactive objects. So for differentiating between the active and inactive objects, we will firstly create a structure field, and this structure field we will include it into the transparent table. And by activation log, we will check whether the table has been activated or in inactive version. For making the transparent table or for making the structure, we use transaction code which is SE11. So step 1 is go to ABAP dictionary by using the transaction code SE11. Now we need to create a structure. For creating this structure, we firstly create the data element. For creating a data element, firstly click on the data type. Creating the data element, in our case, I am creating the data element z underscore time 1. Click on the create button, select the data element and continue. Give the short description, select the predefined type. In my case, I am selecting the data type is of time. Click on the save button, select the package and OK. Maintain the field label. I am maintaining the field label is time. Click on the save button, check for the consistency and then activate it. Now new object has been activated, which is our data element. Now click on the back button, create the structure with the name jet change underscore new. Click on the create button and select the structure tab and continue. Now assign the component here, and we have created the component jet s underscore time. So we can take here the component change underscore add, and the typing method is types. Now the component type will be the data element that we have recently created, and the data element named jet s underscore time one. Click on the save button, select the package and click on save button. Now before activating the structure, there is a requirement to set the enhancement category. Now click on the extra button, click on enhancement category, select continue, and you can select the second type can be enhanced character type or numeric. Click on the copy button, check for the consistency, no inconsistency found, activate it. Now this new structure has been activated. We want to make this structure as a component of the transparent table. So in our case, I am selecting the database table Z employee. Now click on change button, and if you want to make the part of this table, so we can use here as a include structure. Now go to edit button, click on the include, then insert. Now the structure name jet change underscore new. Click on the continue button. You can see this new structure has been added as a part of this employee transparent table. Now click on the save button. Now for differentiating between the inactive and active version of the object, we need to check the activation log. For checking the activation log, just click on the utilities button and you can see the activation log button. When you click on it, you can see the last activation record is printed here, and the time is showing 19th of April 2020, and the time is also there. So for this time, the object table Z employee has not been activated and it is in the inactive version. Now click on the back button, click on the save, check for the consistency, no inconsistency found, and activate it. When you activate it, again check for the activation log, click on utilities and activation log. Now you can see the new activation log record has been updated, and the activation of work list is on date 25th of April 2020, and the new updated time is there. So this was the differentiation between the inactive and active object. Now this table has been activated and change underscore new structure has become the part of this transparent table. If you want to see the changes reflected, you can click on the data browser button or content button. When you click on it, you can see the new field would appear there. Now you can see the new field that we have recently created, change, add, now become the part of this transparent table after activation. So this was a practical example of differentiating between the active and inactive version of the object. Now next we see the practical example of where use list. If you want to see the where use list, I have already told you and discussed about this one. The where use list is always associated with each object that you create. So for example, in our case, there is a database table gen employee. I am clicking on the change button and you can see this is a symbol of where use list. Either you can click directly on this symbol or either you can use the shortcut key Ctrl Shift plus F3. Now when I click on it, it will open a new window in which you can see or define the object that you want to find in the SAP system. In our case, we are searching for this database table Z employee, and this Z employee data table that we have never used in any program. So I'm taking another example. Click on this cancel button, go back and select here the domain. Now previously we have created the domain z do underscore character 10. Click on the change button and select this icon where use list. Just click on it and execute it. You can also schedule it into the background. Now when you clicked it, it will open a window in which you can see where we have used this domain z do underscore character 10, and we have used this z do underscore character 10 domain in case of our data element which was z first name. Now if you want to see the complete list, there is another button complete list. Just click on it. You can see the further information of this domain that we have used in case of data element. The data element name is z first name. There is a short description, new data element. The further information you can see the package name changed by BC user, and this is your last change. Similarly, other information you can see the language is English. So by using this where use list, you can search the object that you have created and where you are using that particular type of objects. Another kind of searching the particular objects that I already discussed, that was repository information system, and that repository information you can find out in SCAT. Now just click the command SCAT. Now when you click on this SCAT command, that is you have opened the object navigator, there is a second option repository browser, and just next to this repository browser there is another button repository information system. Just click on it and you can see the list of objects have been populated. Now if you want to see the particular object of a web dictionary to search in the SAP system, just explore it and search for a particular domain. In our case, we are searching the domain. Just double click on it and select the domain. Suppose I have selected here z do underscore factor 10. Now just click on execute button and it will show you the output. Now you can see this is the domain that we have used, just click on it. Now click on the where use list. Just click on OK button, and you can see the data element in which we have used the domain jet2 underscore character tag. So we have two ways for searching the particular object in SAP system. The first one is where use list, and second is repository information system. Thank you for watching my videos, and please subscribe my channel.